In the right corner, coming straight up from 2016, containing 750 millimeters, clocking at 10%, the Dominus Vobiscum Lupulus. In the left corner, fresh off 2019, containing 500 millimeters, clocking also at 10%, the Lupulus.
Hello and welcome to Awesome Bros. This week we're reviewing an old beer and new beer at the same time. Boom! Intro!
I don't even have the chance to talk.
That was the goal.
For an open window on a craft beer world, Max and Chris from Ups and Brews. Ups and Brews. Welcome to Ups and Brews.
For an open window in the craft beer world.
That was a good test for the sound levels.
Max and Chris from Hops and Brews. Hops and Brews. Welcome to Hops and Brews. Yeah!
No one actually knows it, but I'm actually doing the
Back
vocals on this one.
And Phil did the mastering. The second mastering on the versions I would put out was Phil. Our good buddy Phil. I won't say more because he's a teacher and he doesn't want to be mentioned too much in these videos. But I love Phil. Hi, Phil.
So now everyone can just look up Phil teacher on Google and have approximately.
I really doubt anyone's going to find. Like, how many teachers are called? If you're a teacher and your name is Phil, leave a comment in the comments below just to let us know that you're a teacher called Phil.
Yeah.
If you're the actual Phil, I would recommend not doing this.
Yes, but if you are a teacher and you're called Phil, drop us your link on Rate My My Teacher.
Yes, I love that. We're gonna rate you.
We're gonna give you a good rating.
We're gonna give us a good rating. We'll give you a good rating.
What about that?
Yeah.
Ups and Bros helping teachers every single week.
See, the education is very important. Now let's talk about beer education.
Beer education.
Beer education. Anyways, what is this, Chris?
So what happened? Okay, let me get you guys back to 2016 when I bought this bottle of Microbrasserie Charlevoix Lupulus. So this one is it's a triple Belgian IPA. I was told back in the days when I bought this that it's a beer that ages well. So I aged it. And what happened?
Who told you that?
I don't know. I'm still mesmerized about it.
Maybe they should get shot. Anyways, you haven't tasted it. I've tasted this.
No,
please keep on talking. Someone said you should age this.
Exactly. So we won't do names because I forgot them. But what happened is that actually Charlevoix reached out to us because they have a new one. A new version of it.
Spoiler alert, it's really good.
It's amazing.
I've been tasting this one here. It's amazing. It's phenomenal. I felt bad because I shit on this one here. But no, the new version, fresh, is great. It is a great beer.
Let me just...
I love how, like mid-show, or like, you should probably tweak this.
Doing some adjustments,
I love it.
You guys see the behind the scenes.
Where's our producer?
Yeah, we forgot to hire a producer this year.
We had some for the homebrew.
Listen, we ran out of Take Glassware, so if you guys want to participate into the Awesome Bros show, now is the perfect time to plug in our merch.
Oh yeah, by the way, we do have t-shirts. Now this is a weird show. Anyways, we do have shirts. If you like t-shirts, you like v-necks, you like repping people from the interwebs, and you like the Hops and Bros show, you can get your very own Hops and Bros shirt. There's a bunch of different styles. I like v-necks. He likes the classic t-shirts. We also have tanks. I'm very psyched about the tanks. I've got to order some more. Like we've ordered some shirts from this because I love wearing our merch. Original art from David Buis. Link is down there to order your own shirt.
So back to the video. Where were we? Yes. So Microbrasserie Charlevoix sent us this beer. They are always very nice with us. Always send us some beer mail to review the beers. But when I received it, I kind of clicked. I need to sit down with Max and compare the older aged version with the newer one. And the reason why we want to do that is not to kind of like diminish one versus the other or to tell one is better than the other. It's basically to try out and see if aging your beer, is it really worth it? And it's not 100% science right here, but it's still something that I think it's worth trying. If you have an older beer sitting down there in your basement and you're kind of like hesitating, grab the newer version and try it against the older one and compare them.
So beer is inherently pathogen free, which means that the organisms that are playing around in your product, or in the aged product I should say, will not or should not harm you physically. If there is any bad bacteria and any bad fungus in there, that is not a fault on the beer, and it should have been discarded beforehand because there was a problem way before it was packaged. Therefore, aging beer, very possible, especially when you have a beer that's at 10% and is at, well, this one's 70% IBU, 70 IBUs, I mean, and this one's probably 70 IBUs
I
as
think
well.
We're close to, we're at 70, so we're close to the same.
So IBUs and alcohol, they prevent any bad bacteria from growing in there. So there's nothing bad that has grown in this beer, but clearly there's some issues. When you compare them one to the other, you can see that there's been something. Now, what will affect a beer negatively? I'm already gonna. It's not a good beer. Something happened here.
Something
you should
happened.
not age.
Something happened.
Immediately, the aroma I had
have
was
apples.
those apples. I had Scooby Doo's. I had like those tomato sauce canned. It's not great. Clearly off flavors, but so the first thing you can see is the color of the beer. So when you compare this color to the color of the new one, you can see that this one it is tired. It is a little more on the brown side. It is not. Yeah, it's a great term, eh?
Disclaimer before we dive into more destroying the fact that I
go for
didn't
it.
age this beer properly.
Yeah.
The condition weren't ideal for aging. 100% my fault.
Oh, it's fine. Honestly, it's this is because of oxygen that made its way into the bottle. Now, this bottle technically should have had a cork in the sense that it is a champagne style bottle made to handle a lot more pressure and aging. If you have a cork in there, you have a lot less oxygen making its way through compared to having a just good old cap.
Yeah.
Anyways, it should have been fine.
Which they switched with their new brut champagne style beer. I think they released it. It's already out or something like that. It's corked.
Nice.
So they are switching up, and also I think they're gonna be switching to cans soon.
Ooh.
Not sure about that.
So micro-oxidation will do this. It's gonna take that color and bring it down. Now, color. I don't really care about color. Color. You should not care about color when you're looking at beer because it doesn't really matter unless you're comparing it to a newer beer that's exactly the same.
Or unless you're keeping track of your SRMs.
Sure, I really don't. I like my beers. I just don't. Now on the nose, not so great.
No, I have like it's fresh apple juice.
Yeah, it's tired hops. So your hops don't like light, they don't like oxygen. You're telling me the conditions were not ideal. There's probably some light strike to this.
Oh yeah.
Micro-oxidation, not great on the aroma. But how are the flavors, Chris? What do you think?
Oh god. There's a lot of sweetness. I gotta admit, I forgot how it tastes. So I'm from both of us, I'm the only one that haven't tried.
Oh yeah, I've tried the new
version.
one. The new one's great.
So no hops, a lot of sweetness, and it's like a candied sweetness I have from it. Lost the booziness because I remember when I drank it when I was a lot younger, so 4 or 5 years ago. That ages me very well. I was a young pup. A lot more booziness out of it too, which I think it kind of like died off or maybe smoothed it off. So probably the only good side of aging that beer that really happened is losing that booziness out of it. But I'm not sure because I haven't tried the new version. Is the booziness back? Yeah.
Or are we good to try the new one?
I think we should.
So
I think we should.
As soon as you try this new one, you will see that the booziness is not there. It's not a boozy beer. It's a very well-balanced beer. And the other thing is, I talked about 70% IBU earlier. It does not feel like a 70% IBU beer. It is extremely well-balanced. Now, when you're talking about Belgium-style beers,
good.
there's added sugars to be able to get the alcohol a little higher. But for some reason, it is a very, very well balanced beer. Usually 70% IBU or 70 IBUs is gonna. I'm not gonna like it. I don't like a lot of IBUs, but in this case, oh man, it's just the perfect amount of dryness.
The
Now,
mouthfeel.
how boozy is it? Is it boozy, Chris?
Not too much, because it finishes on a nice lingering bitterness. Up front, you get fruity notes, citrusy hops in there. You smell the dryness out of it, which doesn't really translate when you get the mouthfeel out of it. It's super creamy on my perception, on my palate, and finishing off on that nice dryness, bitterness really makes it kind of like easy to drink for a 10% beer. This is heavy. This is light and fluffy.
Yeah, 100%. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a little story. I don't know how much time we have on the show.
We have plenty of time.
Sure, we have plenty of time. So, I did not like IPAs at all. Chris, you remember this. I did not drink any. I have a very vivid memory of us going to Les Vilains Garçons, having some food, and you had an IPA, and I followed you with this IPA.
It was the NAM... Leo's early breakfast.
To me, it's not even relevant to the story because I remember not liking it. But I also remember the subsequent IPAs I had with you that I did not enjoy until we went back to this first Cleo's IPA, and I went like, "Oh, this is actually really good." And you told me, you're like, "Oh, you hated this beer the first time you had it," and I did not remember this at all. My palate had changed, had adapted to this. And this is awesome. This is a 70 IBU beer. It's great. 10% alcohol. I do not feel the alcohol. It is extremely well balanced. It is an extremely well made beer. And it is made so much better when you compare it to the older version and you go, wow, this older version sucks. This new version is phenomenal. You're gonna have to bleep that.
No, that's all right.
I'm gonna give you a little clap so you know where to go.
Oh no, I watch the whole thing when I'm editing.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So, anyways, this is a phenomenal beer, and I am 100% positive that this old version from 2016 was as good.
Yeah.
It did not age well, but comparing these is phenomenal, man. I would have never done this because usually you age stouts. You age barley wines, you age any beers that are very, very high in sweetness to start off with. I don't like aging anything that's hop forward because you lose the hops. And clearly you do lose the hops. You lose the hoppiness. But in the original one, oh man, is this good.
It's very good. And I was skeptical because it's in a smaller bottle, right? Compared to this fantastic champagne style bottle. It has a little bit more luxury style out of it, and having it in little bottles makes it a lot more approachable, I guess, for other customers or the new customers or the new beer market right now. Juicy IPAs are all over the place, but this right here, this guy, I think you should really, really pay attention to it. Pay attention to Microbrasserie Charlevoix because they do amazing beers.
Huge fan.
All across the board.
Huge.
So I can't recommend them any more than that.
They're awesome.
But if you have the opportunity to catch this beer, it's available year-round in probably every single very good beer stores in Quebec.
So if you're from outside of Quebec, as most of our viewers from the States or Brazil, obviously, like fun fact, Brazil. And just Southern America or whatever. It's awesome.
We love you.
We love you guys. If you want to do a road trip to Quebec, it is a great buy. I would definitely stop in and try this beer. Now, on this note, if you like this video, please...
Before.
Yeah?
Should you age your beer or not?
Is that the question you're asking them?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Yeah. But you... That's awkward now.
It depends, man. It depends on the beer. It's a big question. I think some beers you age, some beers you don't. Anything that's like very sweet driven, like a stout, porter, stuff like that, high alcohol, you age. Anything that has Brett in, I would recommend aging because Brett actually does well in those conditions. It actually, Brett is... Have we done an episode on Brett's?
Yeah, we did.
We did? Okay,
Yeah.
well,
But
we'll do
maybe
another
yeah.
one because I've got a lot more information on this. And Brett is one of those very lazy yeast strains that will take its sweet time. Anyways, I don't want you to edit anymore. So sweet time to actually ferment the product, which means that the longer you leave it in, the more it's actually going to keep on changing those flavors. It's going to keep on evolving. It's going to eat that microoxidation, so you won't have as much issues with this. And it's going to keep changing those flavors. It's going to keep fermenting for weeks after. And creating something that's truly beautiful. Now, when you're talking about Brett's that are in sours and stuff like that, especially dry hop sours or fruited sours, there's a clear difference from day one to the last day, but not in a negative way, because your first phase is going to be super fruity, and then your middle phase is going to be a little funky, and your last phase is going to come back in a very beautiful way. Aging beers, I'm all for it, but let us know in the comments below what your opinion on aging beer is, and if you have done it, and if you have more questions, we have a full video on aging beers, which was not done for this particular one, and that's great though, because now we know that the conditions that we've talked about before should be respected.
Always respect beer when you're aging. And last tip, buy two, drink it fresh and then age it.
Man, buy a case if you can buy a case. If you can buy a case, because what's gonna happen is you're gonna age it for a year and go, it's really good,
and you get a vertical.
You're gonna age it for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and figure out exactly where that sweet spot is, and then you'll know how long you have to age it. We'll see you in the next one. I'm done. I'm done with this one. I'm gonna finish this. This was really good.
That was very good.
I'm really hoping we press record on this, because
I'm really hoping too, because we have a lot of content in there.
There's a lot.
Lots. At least the audio is recording, so we can have a podcast out of it, maybe.
Maybe. Also, let us know in the comments below if you're probably not here right now, so I can say whatever I want. If you would like to hear a Hops and Bros podcast, let us know in the comments below. We're not against it. We're very for it, but we want to know what you think. And if you made it to this far, then you really want this. Because the rest of you guys are gone.
Yeah, you get a high five. If you listen, I am giving it.